give the degree, number of turning points, and intercepts for the following. And we see here, we're not given the actual equation for the polynomial, right? We're just given the graph. Okay, so how are we going to determine the degree, the turning points, and the intercepts? Okay, I think the degree is going to be the toughest one here, right? Remember, the intercepts are just where the graph crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so in this case, we see that there's only actually two intercepts here, right? Now this one we can just sort of eyeball, right? So we'll say negative 2.1 comma 0, right? And maybe how about 0 and 1.5, okay? Now what about the turning points and the degree, right? So they sort of go hand in hand. Okay? Now first thing we notice here is that this is not our U shape. So the graph doesn't end up as a U at the ends, right? This is what we call an S shape, okay? Now as an S-shaped graph, we know that this is going to be odd degree, right? The degree of this polynomial is going to be odd. Okay? Well then, but wait a minute, how do we know if it's like 3rd degree or 5th degree or 7th degree? Okay? Well, the turning points should help us, okay? Remember, the number of turning points, the maximum number of turning points, I should say, right? The maximum number of turning points is always one less than the degree, okay? So I should write that, the maximum number of turning points, okay? It's possible that it could be not exactly one less, okay? But the maximum number of turning points is always one less than degree, okay? Well, let's take a look here. How many times does this polynomial actually turn? Okay, when we say turn, we mean it has a maximum or a local max or local minimum value. It changes from increasing to decreasing or vice versa. Well, let's take a look. Okay, it turns back around here, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 turning points, right? So let's write that down, right? We know that there are 4 turning points, okay? Which means what then? Okay, if there's 4 turning points, then what do you think the degree of this polynomial is going to be? Okay, well, remember, the maximum number of turning points is always one less than the degree. So we can conclude that it's going to be a 5th degree polynomial. So then some students ask, well, is it possible this is a 7th degree? Okay. And actually the answer is no. Okay. So the maximum number of turning points is one less than the degree.